Hey guys, Dr. Anderson here, and I'm here with Diane, who's had an incredible journey, and I'm going to have her go through her journey. She came to us and had surgery, and I forgot to look it up, but it's been about
7 weeks,
2 months ago. Had nerve surgery. We opened up some nerve tunnels in her lower leg here. There's an incision here. There's one over here, because she had very significant pain that started in 2022. 21. Anyway, I'll let her take over from there. She knows her story better than I do because she had to live with this, and it's be patient. It's going to be a while, but I want her to explain her story because this could be you. Because some of you listening maybe have fallen or had an injury, and you have pain that just doesn't want to go away, and that's her. That's what happened. And she was chasing for solutions, and I'd like to think she got them here when she came here. So, because we actually put a name to the problem. We diagnosed her. So I'll let you take over from there. What happened way back then?
Yeah, so this started in November 2021. I slipped on an acorn while I was running. I fell on the pavement on my left hip and my left shoulder. It was, I didn't know it at the time, but it was a complete inversion high ankle sprain. And I recovered from that. But a couple months later, I started to get pain in the bottom of my foot, mostly when I was walking and running. Okay. And I went to physical therapy. However, the pain kind of progressed, not in a linear pattern, but kind of up my leg. So I got pain in my hip and in my glutes and in my calf. And I went to multiple physical therapists, a podiatrist, a sports medicine doctor, a foot and ankle doctor. All along that time, I kind of suspected that there was still something wrong with my ankle, like or my foot, like an undiagnosed fracture or tendon or ligament injury that no one had seen yet. I did finally get, I got x-rays, no fracture. I finally did get an MRI that showed like a subacute high ankle sprain still going on. Okay. Eventually, maybe after 2 years, I went to the Sedman Clinic because I actually fell down my garage stairs again, sprained that ankle again. So I went to get another x-ray to make sure I hadn't done anything else to this ankle. And at that time, this is the first doctor who had suggested that I had nerve pain. And he didn't say what kind of nerve pain. In fact, it was just on this piece of paper he handed me, take high doses of vitamin B6 and vitamin B1. Okay. By the way, do not take vitamin B6. It is toxic at high doses. Okay. But that visit caused me to start thinking, like, what if this is nerve pain, and to look into that a little bit more. That's when I kind of arrived myself that this might be sciatica. Sure. So from that point, I searched out a chiropractor that specializes here in Fort Collins in sciatica pain. And I did like an intensive year-long program, like pulse electromagnetic frequency therapy, spinal decompression, adjustments, all this stuff. Right. And that did help a little bit. But it didn't totally resolve the pain, especially the pain in my foot that I was having. Eventually I started going to another physical therapist to try to, augment the chiropractic. And I was doing okay, but in December December of 2024, I had a big flare up, all over, like the foot, the hip, the sciatica, everything. And kind of had a renewed sense, like, I'm going to try to figure out what this is and what to do about it. And that's kind of when I found Dr. Anderson. It was actually by complete accident. I came here because I thought he was going to give me orthotics because I was having pain in my foot. So he gave me a bunch of research studies that he's done, and I looked up a bunch of other ones on my own. And the pain patterns seemed to match very significantly to what I had been experiencing over the last 3 years. Right. And so I would like to say, like, none of these doctors and physical therapists, I don't think are aware of the potential for your common peroneal and your tibial nerve to be compressed at a lower location. Like, everybody only thinks in the spine for the most part, or the piriformis. That's the only thing that they think of. Right. So that this isn't something like I've spent a ton of time online researching this myself, medical journal articles and all this stuff, and I've never run across this myself either. Right. it's kind of like you have to know what to look for, and then it kind of opens up this whole thing and you find all this information. So once you gave me those articles, I looked into it myself and found all kinds of other information that matched kind of what I was experiencing. So decided to go forward with the surgery. That was 7 weeks ago. By the way, I forgot to mention that I also could not flex my left big toe for the last year and a half. And no one had really noticed that. I had just noticed it at some point. I'm not really sure how, but that's huge because your big toe is huge and everything.
For propelling off your foot and everything,
absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, so I had the surgery 7 weeks ago, and yeah, I've seen very dramatic improvement in all of these symptoms. I can flex my big toe. I've got significantly improved balance, much less pain, even up above my knee, which I think Dr. Anderson has other videos that explain this double crush theory, that if you're being compressed in your back and in your leg, the nerve is more sensitive. So if you can at least decompress that in one of the places, it can significantly improve your pain everywhere. And that's what I've experienced. So I've gotten a lot of relief from this surgery, and it's been a long road. So if you're watching this, I hope you do some research yourself and maybe you can help yourself get out of pain sooner than I did.
So that's excellent. I mean, I will have to add more. I mean, that's really good though, because this is a very common story, and sadly, it happens quite a bit in America. It's something that, and you've explained it very eloquently. I mean, the problem right now is, if you're watching this, a lot of people do focus on the back, like Diane's saying, is they think that most all this pain is coming from the back and going down the leg. And probably one of the simplest things I can say is, in America today, when you have nerve pain from the knee down, right, it is very much, the discussion is dominated a lot by the pharmaceutical world because it's medication for it. And you don't get a diagnosis. It's like, well, probably neuropathy, maybe it's restless legs, it could be something else, or it could be from the back. But when you came in here, we specifically identified nerve tunnels. It'd be no different than somebody having pain up in the arm, and we say, oh, there's the ulnar nerve, or there's the carpal tunnel, or the brachial nerve. There's different, all these nerve tunnels here, and everybody's aware of that in medicine and healthcare. And that's the peripheral nervous system there, but the peripheral nervous system down here, everywhere from the knee down, and especially between the knee and the ankle, is kind of ignored, and so people do not evaluate. We opened up your common perineal nerve. You left here. I mean, when you came in, you knew you had a common perineal nerve entrapment. You knew you had soleal or superficial perineal nerve and soleal sling entrapment. So those are the nerve tunnels that are down here. And probably when you fall like that and you have an ankle twist, it stretches those nerves. And actually, it's like you had a severe nerve stretch from your injury, from your sprain. And that's probably, if there's one pearl, is, man, if you sprain your ankle or maybe even torque your knee, but a lot of this is ankle sprains, and people come to us all the time and they have these sprains, and it's years later, and sometimes it's just 2 months later, but you need to be thinking about seeing a peripheral nerve surgeon, because a lot of doctors are not. It's going to go over their head.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened to you. It's amazing how many people you saw. And but anyway, I really appreciate you giving this video, doing the video. You have a really unique story, and hopefully it's going to touch some of the people out there.
I hope so too.
They're in the same situation, and they're scratching their head right now. And if you don't have a diagnosis, folks, right? I'm saying it's really important. You as a consumer, you're the patient, demand diagnoses, and I see that from time to time. And if you're not getting one, you probably ought to get another opinion, because really you should have a diagnosis for the pains that you're getting. And I like to think we provided that for you when you came in, right?
Absolutely.
So anyway, appreciate it. Very great story. And I better let you go. So you go start running now. Okay.
All right.
You take care. Thanks for sharing the video. And please go to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot more subscribers. We appreciate you all supporting us and adding to all the people that are watching and gaining information from these videos. So thanks.